Welcome to Upskilling Accounting and Finance Teams for AI and Automation, a roundtable panel discussion brought to you by the Controllers Council. My name is Neil Brown, Executive Director of the Controllers Council, and before I introduce our expert panelists and our partner sponsor, let me share some brief housekeeping items. First, we'll have Q&A at the end of the presentation, so please use your GoToWebinar control panel to ask our experts questions. Next, this webinar is CPE eligible with 4 polling questions, so please answer each poll for CPE or to benchmark your peers. Please allow a couple of days to receive your CPE certificates via email. And also regarding CPE, you'll receive a brief survey directly after the webcast today, so please complete. And finally, you'll receive a link to this webcast via email in the next 24 hours, so no need for notes or screenshots. With that, I'm very pleased to introduce our partner and sponsor, Insight Software, a global provider of comprehensive solutions for the Office of the CFO and the Controllership. We believe an actionable business strategy begins and ends with accessible financial data, with solutions across financial planning and analysis, FP&A, accounting, and operations. We transform how teams operate, empowering leaders to make timely and informed decisions. Learn more at insightsoftware.com. Well, I'm just really happy to have these great panelists with us today, Gregg D'Eon, Philip Peck, and Kevin Gibson. Gregg D'Eon is the VP and Controller at LTK, an e-commerce platform for creators and influencers. Before LTK, Gregg was Corporate Controller at DraftKings for more than 8 years. Prior roles include accounting and audit at Mitsubishi Financial Group. Gregg started in public accounting at Deloitte, followed by a stint at E&Y. He earned a Master of Science in Accounting and a Bachelor of Accounting from the University of Connecticut, go Huskies, and is a licensed CPA in Massachusetts. Gregg won the Controllers Council National Controller of the Year in 2023. Philip Peck is VP Finance Transformation at Peloton Consulting Group. Prior roles included VP of Finance, the finance practice at Palladium Consulting, and client-side roles for OSE USA, Ameritech, and R.R. Donnelley. I know that it's kind of like the who's who of Chicago big corporations, right, Philip?
Yes, thank you.
And he earned an MBA from Northwestern, also in Chicago, and a BS Industrial Management from Purdue University. And Kevin Gibson is a CPA and Senior Solutions Engineer at Insight Software with over 25 years of experience in corporate finance. Kevin works closely with organizations that use SAP, Oracle, JD Edwards, and many other platforms to provide reporting solution demonstrations for accounting and business users. He's a former controller, and before working for Insight Software, he was a spreadsheet server user for 6 years. Gentlemen, welcome to the panel today.
Thank you, Neil.
You're quite welcome. So we're going to get started with just a bit of an overview from each of you about your companies and your roles. So Gregg, let's start with you.
Sure. So the company we work for is called LTK, or Like to Know It if you follow us on social media at all. And we sit right between where social media influencers that have a pretty big following can help advertise different types of clothing, generate links, and collaborate with brands a little bit better. And our whole business model basically is to help brands market their products to people who actually trust what they're wearing and what they like. From my company, like my department's perspective, there's about 12 of us in total. We have 2 arms. One's our financial operations arm, which is more or less responsible for your traditional accounts receivable, accounts payable, T&E, like all the stuff that your accounting group will typically connect with inside your department. And then we have a traditional GL group who's responsible for closing the books, reporting to the CFO, and doing all of our monthly reconciliations.
And who do you report to, Greg?
I report to the CFO.
Okay, I thought so. Sounds good. And Philip, tell us about Peloton Consulting and the finance transformation practice.
Thank you, Neil. So Peloton Consulting Group, we help companies drive AI-enabled digital transformation across their enterprise. We provide advisory services, which is really my specialty in the area that I focus on, consulting implementation services, and managed services capabilities across a wide variety of pillars, thinking through the Office of Finance, Accounting, and FP&A, enterprise performance management, ERP or enterprise resource management, supply chain management, human capital management, some CX works, broader analytics and data management all around the cloud. We're a global company, operations and delivery capabilities across the globe, 800 plus employees and growing. We span a wide variety of indices with specialties around retail, CPG manufacturing, financial services, ProServe, high tech, and wholesale distribution. In terms of how we work with clients, we believe we have an innovative and somewhat unique implementation methodology where we leverage a process-centric, fit-to-modern framework and breakaway approach that's iterative, highly collaborative, and we believe drives solution adoption from day one. In terms of advisory services and finance transformation, we bring to bear industry expertise, certainly functional expertise, but also technical expertise as we deploy solutions for clients. On the AI front, like other consulting organizations, we've built out deep AI capabilities. We actually have an AI strategy practice and really looking to help organizations pivot and embrace the world of AI as they're looking to drive a superior business performance.
All right, thank you, Philip. And Kevin, you were a controller, now on the software side. Tell us about Insight Software and your F&A ops, and maybe a touch on your prior experience as a controller.
Sure. First of all, thank you all for joining. Nice to meet you all. So I guess a little bit of the background starts. Greg and I are sort of very similar. I started in the public accounting sector, was an auditor for many years, went to the private side where I got more into the software technology piece and came across a company called Insight Software, which provides solutions, if you will, for the office of the CFO. So that encompasses things like reporting, tax, disclosure management, all types of areas of reporting. We have about 80 different products in our portfolio across all different areas of ERPs and platforms. But the goal here is just a one-stop shop. Come to us with a problem, we have the solution, and we certainly have all the products that'll meet those needs. I've been doing this now for 25 plus years. As you mentioned, I was a controller at one point. I'm a CPA, and I now just enjoy working with customers and trying to solve their challenges. So again, thank you all for being here and look forward to the discussion.
All right. Well, thank you for that. And that brings us to our first poll. I'm going to get started with the poll because they often lead into our panel discussion. First of four here for CPE and benchmarking. So please take a look. Is your accounting and finance department using AI or automation? So where are you at right now? And all responses are confidential and anonymous. All right, we're getting pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out and briefly share the results. So number one, 49%, some AI or automation being used by almost half. And then another 24% evaluating or planning AI or automation options. Only 5% with significant AI automation being used, and 17% not using AI or automation, 4% not sure. So Philip, just quickly, does this compare with some of the clients that you see in the industry?
Absolutely, yes. I think we've seen more recently, Neil, we've moved past the phase or the point in time where organizations just aspired to leverage automation and specifically AI in their finance and accounting operations. And now they're more fully embracing the opportunity and working through all the important business considerations, and then stepping back and crafting more intentional, roadmap-oriented playbooks for both deploying and then optimally leveraging automation and AI capabilities. I like to think of it going way back in time, since you referenced I got my MBA at Northwestern. Some of those classic marketing classes, when they spoke of the S-curve of adoption, I think we're now seeing that, specifically automation, but now AI, coming to the forefront, where we're going to see an accelerated deployment, intentionality in usage of automation, and specifically AI adoption over time. I think that's definitely what we're seeing across our client base.
Neat. All right. Well, that does lead into our first question. So let's get to that. Related question. Please share what F&A workflows employ AI automation or are planning for AI and automation. So, Gregg, what automation workflows do you have at LTK?
Ours right now are mainly focused on our financial operations arm, which is mostly around making sure we're collecting invoices timely, that we're paying invoices when we need to, that things are just getting processed in general as efficiently as possible. Where we've seen a lot of AI help and a lot of investment over the company wide, and also just within the finance and accounting department, was really more the ability to leverage a chat agent to say, hey, invoice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, can you tell me everything about it? And you can have your agent run through your emails, your Slacks, what's available on any shared drives, and it'll just give you the most recent status and who to talk to about it. Even something as simple as that, I think, has been like an incredible uptick in our productivity across the department and our ability to leverage that. Going forward, we're trying to start we're looking into and starting to create chatbot agents, right? So you could go and you could ask, instead of going to Gregg and asking him what the status of an invoice is, you can just have someone on the business side ask the agent will tell you what's the most recent thing. That I think has been one of the bigger things that we've rolled out that we've been was really helpful, and helped us at least allowed us to focus on, all right, what are the things that truly matter versus what's just status.
Neat. Thank you for that. Philip, are there certain F&A processes that have been adopted earlier than others?
Most definitely. And piggybacking on you, Gregg, some of the chatbot orientation, we've certainly deployed some solutions, seemingly relatively simple as they are, but highly beneficial in the area of helping an organization say they have a particular ERP platform and they're struggling a bit with providing training support. People just get lost. They're trying to navigate a particular process domain area, and the chatbot orientation enabled them to point them immediately to existing material to solve a question, solve a problem, or just guide them. That's one. But Neil, I'd like to step back just a little bit and think about it, a little bit of the end-to-end processes where we're seeing traction across our clients in some focus areas. And then I'll flip over to where I'm exceedingly passionate in the world of financial planning and analysis. So things like the accounting close and financial reporting, leveraging automation and emerging AI, automating journal entries, AI classification of journal entries, some workflow-oriented automation and emerging AI. It's a big one there. Account recs, auto matching of transactions, exception-based reconciliation, finding with AI's help unusual balances and things that we in the accounting realm and finance realm need to investigate. Some of the other ones, intercompany, auto matching, dispute detection, and some other areas there. The financial consolidation itself, currency translation and automating that, some of the other ownership related calculations. And on the financial statement prep, the actual financial reports, just automatically generating them and then leveraging some of the emerging narrative reporting, natural language generation to help there. On the procure to pay, AP side of the world, some combination of automation and AI we're definitely seeing, like invoices, OCR plus machine learning, automating three-way matching, things of that nature. Some elements around vendor management, compliance check, onboarding, payment terms optimizations, processing of payments, things like fraud detection, certainly starting to see many use cases there. And then some of the things that AI, just generally speaking, even outside a particular process domain area, anomaly detection, could see that in AP, could see that in FP&A, could see that in other places. Next one, order to cash, the AR side, automated invoice generation, some usage-based billing automation, cash application, cash matching, and say in the FP&A realm, a little bit of the predictive cash forecasting, emerging capabilities there. We're definitely seeing clients getting strong interest in and starting to do some pilot work. A couple others there, collections management, prioritization of what we go after, why and when. And again, some of the AI specific capabilities, maybe prediction of payments, customer risk modeling, and a few others. And then back to where I'm exceedingly passionate, the FP&A realm. So AI predictive financial forecasting and operational forecasting, enhancing driver-based modeling and forecasting capabilities with AI. AI generated explanations around management variance analysis and some of the detections and anomalies and forecast bias elements. That's where we're starting to see a lot of the AI infused capabilities. And then certainly also back to just the accelerating our ability to have narrative around our reports, get to the core answer as fast as we can, such that then we layer in the insights, intelligence that we the humans bring to bear.
Wow, that's a lot. Thank you. A couple of notes, AI infused, I like that. I'm gonna remember that. Thank you for that. Kevin, AI and automation workflows that you're seeing?
So we've got it from two different directions, I would say, from our company. One's the internal use, and then there's the external use. The internal use obviously is just us we use a product called Claude. That's not a shameless plug, that's just the product we use internally. And we're using it more from the perspective of helping to create the outputs of the data. So, with our line of business, we're looking at sort of similar to what Philip does. We're looking and helping customers pull and extract the data and analyze it. So we're using Claude internally, and we're training it to do certain things to help create reports and create outputs and predict the outputs. But then you have the actual output itself. From the Excel perspective, we see our clients using things like Copilot as an example, or the data analyze functions that exist from the Microsoft perspective. They're taking and utilizing this AI to help, again, do the predictability. They want to understand where the business is. They want to help it even set up warnings, if you will. We're releasing a new product coming out in June that is going to allow, the setup of notifications, if you will. Hey, let us know when a certain event happens. And therefore, you're not always monitoring the report, but the product is monitoring it for you, if that makes sense. It doesn't require the human interaction. The AI is going to do all of that tracking for you and then notify the customer or the prospect of an event that may occur that they're tracking or watching. But there's a lot of use cases out there. I think the market, even though, I was a little bit surprised there wasn't more AI use, to be honest. I thought it would be a little higher from what we're seeing and hearing from the customer side of things. We get asked about AI all the time. But the predictability is certainly on the forefront of where our customers are thinking, at least from what we're demoing and what we're talking about. So a lot of good things to come. I think we've only scratched the surface on what